So we do this eagle count once a year, first Sunday in January. And we have done it for, this is going to be our 25th year. We are the oldest eagle counting situation in the world. There was, I read in the paper that they were counting eagles in Brackendale, and they said they met in the parking lot. To begin with, they ended up in the parking lot. So I phoned them up and said, don't you guys know enough to get in out of the rain? Next year you should come here, you start warm and end up warm. And that was the beginning of the Brackendale Winter Eagle Festival and count. In 1994, we counted 3,769 eagles in one day. So that's a world record. And then in 95, my friend Len came in and said, have you heard about the Pacific Area Strategy? And I said, no, what is it? He said, well, 12% of BC is going to be turned into parkland. And I said, and he said, we were thinking about doing something at the estuary. And I hear myself saying, why don't we do something for the eagles? We just had a world record count, and we ran it up the flagpole, of course. And so we got ourselves together and marked out 1,100 acres and delivered it to the round table on a Monday. And before that, when the mayor would meet me at the Overweighty and say, we heard you're doing something about the eagle, why don't you come and talk to the council? But too many cooks, you know, I mean, Lefty and I, we kept it really quiet, right? And so we sent in 37 letters on a Monday, 17 letters from organizations around here, and 20 letters from honorable citizens like myself. And now we knew it was now public. So I phoned up Ron Hens, who's a writer for the local paper, Squamish Chief, and he wrote out a one-page article he called it A Justice of Eagle, like it's a justice of eagle. A murder of crow and a part of Wales is a justice of eagles. And that became an award-winning in Canada article, and then it was now out in the open. And so we had to talk to many different people. I mean, this has been ostensibly a logging community. And when I wanted it out there from the beginning, there was no logging, no mining, no houses, no real estate. So I wanted to make sure, that's why we put it in the paper right away. And sure enough, the Sunday after the paper came out, I had a phone call from a local big-time logger, a guy that's been here a long time. And he entertained me for half an hour about how bad the line was, no logging. And then I got my second wind. I said, but an eagle count, an eagle festival is industry, if you want to call it. It's a tourism industry. I said, your daughter might even be taking people out, showing them eagles. And then besides that, how many loggers have you hired in the last 10 years? Well, you buy equipment, you don't really buy a logger, you really hire. So it was, by the time 11 o'clock come out, it was, he was on board. And I don't really like the Eagle Reserve because it's not secured. I mean, being European, I think sanctuary. And then he come back and said, you can't have sanctuary. But what we did do is we gave you a provincial park, Brackendale Eagles Provincial Park Class A, and there's nothing. And then we gave you 400 more acres. So we have now having an Brackendale Eagles Park of 1,500 acres. And then we felt very secure about that whole situation. But now, of course, other things comes in. It's not just it's a secure place for them to live. You know, we knew that we have to look after salmon and you have to look after the water, right? And now we have all this salmon farming, which releases all the sea lice. So we're into another battle. But we're ready. I mean, we're not ready, but we're badly. My speakers in January, he's like David Hancock and Robert Bateman and other people, and Norm Rich. And they do presentations, slideshow. And every Sunday we do, or Saturday we do a concert. So our eagle season is January. And I hope you all be here, folks.